Thank you for watching Heroes Next Door. Today we're doing a day in the life of a training center. This is the Good Fellowship Training Institute, and let's go see what they have. Hello, I'm Mike from Heroes Next Door. I'm here to speak to somebody about the Training Institute.
Yeah, you can go right up to the third floor.
All right, thank you. So it's pretty cool that this ambulance service not only does community service by having MICU, chase car, BLS, they do a lot of standbys, but they also have a whole training institute here. They're able to teach BLS, basic CPR, BLS services, advanced life support for AEMTs, and paramedic services. So I'm curious to see what they have. Hello.
Hi.
Are we here to meet with you?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Mike from Heroes Next Door.
Andy,
Nice to meet you.
one of two ALS coordinators here at Good Fellowship.
Okay. A while back, we were down in Delaware County, and we did one of the high schools that had a training institute, and people absolutely loved it. You guys do training here for multiple different disciplines. You do BLS and ALS, correct?
Correct. We do ENT program. We also have an intermediate ENT program and then a paramedic program.
Okay.
We also do American Heart Association classes, CPR, ACLS, PALS.
Do you offer that to the public too?
Not the ACLS and PALS are specific for paramedic, PAs, doctors, nurses who might want to.
Okay. But do you teach CPR to the lay public? Can they come in and
Yes,
take
they
classes?
do hands-only programs as well.
Awesome.
We'll do, we'll contract with different refineries, Monroe
Okay,
Refinery.
yeah.
We've done ENT classes there and CPR classes there as well.
That's awesome.
And we also do monthly Con Ed for certified person.
Right. Actually, I just finished up my Con Ed. I had the National Registry. I had to get all my 72 hours in the last month because I didn't do any last year. So I appreciate you. So this is on the third level of the Good Fellowship Institute, right?
Correct.
And this is a full-time school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the paramedic program or the ALS program, we have two running right
Okay.
now. One, we have a contract with Newcastle County paramedics. And
In Delaware?
In Delaware.
Okay.
And we do their EMS academy.
Awesome.
So they start from BLS and work all the way through to ALS.
Okay.
And then become
So that
nationally
Zero to
registered
Hero
paramedic.
program I've heard
Zero to
about.
Hero.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We also contract with Kent County, Delaware.
Okay.
And some of their students are in our night class, which runs every Tuesday and Thursday night from 6 p.m. to 10, and then every other weekend we're here for labs.
Dude, you are here all the time.
Basically.
There's two of you.
Right.
Can you walk me through your typical day?
Sure.
Show us where we're at and what you do.
The third floor is our training floor and administration.
Okay.
Okay. It's during the day that we don't have classes. Ryan, my partner Ryan Arnold, and I will be in our offices.
Okay. Nice big office.
Nice big office.
Yeah.
And we write lectures, put things together, work with our BLS team who's also in this office. And we help one another out all the time.
Okay.
with
Do you write your own curriculum or do you go off of college? How do you do that?
So our curriculum is through JB Learning and Nancy Caroline.
Okay.
But then we'll put our own spin on some of the classes to not make them, death by PowerPoint,
Right.
as I like to say.
So you guys are teaching to the national standards then too?
Yes.
So when they're done with this, they can actually challenge the national the registry?
We train them to do national registry.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay.
Like our current Newcastle County 4th Academy, this week, matter of fact, they're coming to take their finals for the program and then move right into national registry testing.
That's cool.
So we have 18 recruits in that class. They started with 18 and They're finishing with 18.
That's pretty
as
good.
of right now.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you and do a class, maybe a CPR, or even get into an EMT or a paramedic class, how would they do that? Do you have a website?
They can go on the website, goodfellowship.org, click on the education link, and that takes everybody to our different programs.
Okay.
Whether it's AHA CPR, hands-only CPR, to EMT, AEMT, or paramedic.
Okay.
For the paramedic program, there's an application, and we do interviews and pre-testing and so forth.
So it's pretty much higher learning. Just like you go into college, you have to kind of do that pre-test, that interview to get into college level learning.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
So, and everybody that we bring in go through that process. And then it's 11 months and
11-month program. So after 11 months, I could actually get a certification and I can go to work.
correct.
You know, and that's something that, you know, going to college, you got to do a 2-year, 4-year college degree in order to get the job that you hopefully will get at the end. Here, we are always looking for more EMTs, paramedics throughout the nation. You know, one of the things that we're lacking on is volunteers, but also paid staff. We struggle over the last decade trying to fill some of these positions. So after an 11-month program that you guys are offering here at Westchester, I can get out and start working. That's pretty enticing.
Our nighttime class, they're usually career EMTs working for a service that once they get done, they get promoted to the paramedic level at their service.
That's awesome. Okay, can you show us around what you have? I heard you had some pretty unique things up here.
Well, today is a lab day for our night class.
Okay.
So in this lab,
All right, we'll keep it quiet because they're working.
they're doing scenario-based airway management. So today was airway management, intubation, supraglottic, and basic skills. So this morning they went through the skills, and this afternoon we're applying to, you know, patient care application and scenario-based. So this room and the next room are running scenarios simultaneously. And then the folks that are waiting are in continuing to practice intubating and
So they come in as teamwork?
yeah,
Okay.
we bring them into twos.
So the cool thing that I like about this room is that you have everything set up. I looked at the doors here and, you know, it looked like the back of an ambulance. It's set up like an ambulance. Is that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you describe to me what you have in this room specifically?
Well, in this room we'll have what we call Fred the head, which is on the ground. It's an intubation head, airway head that you can practice airways. And Ryan was putting the students through the paces for a scenario. We'll bring out intubation kits, we'll bring out suction, we do everything. Then behind over here we have a simulation mannequin.
Okay, yeah.
This is our older model, but it's computerized.
Okay.
So it can cough, it can talk, it can breathe. You listen to lung sounds, abdominal sounds. Our up-to-date one, which is running in the next room, again, the operator can talk through it, put you through a scenario. We can crike these or do a surgical crike. We can do all kinds of stuff with these simulators. And we have 4.
I don't want to interrupt it. I want to listen in just a little bit and see what they're going to do here.
So whose agency has VLs right now? Yeah.
How far are they into their studies?
So here, GFAC.
About halfway. They've just finished the first trimester, which ends in cardiology, and then our next trimester starts pulmonology. And then it's pulmonology, OBGYN, pediatrics go along with that, and then trauma. And then they're done didactic.
This guy on. See how nice and bright's on? So all this light's going back and transferring. What do you think the little video screen's doing for me? What about my pharyngeal angle axis that we're talking about, right? I have a direct line of sight through this. So if I go to this, but you guys come this way. So if I go in, it's a different technique, right? I don't have to manipulate the airway that much, right? We're gonna go back in. And rewatch the screen, right? I'm being very, very gentle. Right, what is that? Those are the chords. Right, so I'm literally not doing almost anything, right? It's just very, 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 very Look, I'm holding it like this.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of manipulating everything to the point where we're rocking back and onto morning, we want to be a little bit farther back too. I'm not wrenching back on the teeth, but look how beautiful that is. Right? So when I have this going on, I'm going to angle a little bit this way. I'm going to introduce my tube the same exact way, and I'm going to go right down through there. I never leave my eyes off this guy. Right? We have everything kind of manipulated we want for this guy, and we're just going to introduce it. See that tube? Right? We've identified all our structures. We go right back through. You see my nice little distal balloon tip there? You see my little black line, right? It's all I need to do, right? So I have this going on. I know exactly where it's at. I can pull the stylet. And I'm going to hold my tube in place. Right, we can take this back out. The cool thing with these guys,
We can move on to the next ones as they finish up here. When you are here, do you have instructors that are here full-time? Do you do part-time?
Ryan and I, who was just in there, he's the other ALS coordinator. He's my partner.
Okay.
We're here full-time.
Okay.
Another instructor that's here in this next scenario is one of our adjunct faculty. So she'll come in and help us out, both ALS and BLS, because she's a medic as well.
Okay.
Our two BLS coordinator, one is a paramedic, the other is an advanced EMT, so they'll also come and help us at
Nice.
some days, and vice versa. We'll help them when they're.
Okay. Does your school run all year round? Do you guys take off like regular school or
Nope.
no?
We go.
Oh, you just keep on moving.
They weren't happy that they had to come in between Christmas and New Year's, but
Right.
it's adult learning.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Can we see another one? So in here, it's set up very similar to the other side as far as the ambulance backing, scenario. I love the fact that you have the nice soft floor. You even have pads on top of the floor.
And this opens up to a larger room too if we need to, but we can split it.
Maybe do a mash casualty or something like that.
So this is our ALS SIN man, okay? So he's completely computer operated. So I, as the instructor, can sit here and the students treat him as a patient. So I'll give the scenario.
Right. So unlike where we were doing just Fred the head in the other room, where I kind of had to, they kind of prompt him on what was going on, he actually will express those different kind of things.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So again, there's speakers in him that you can hear all kinds of different lung sounds, bowel sounds. They can actually start IVs. We can hook up fluid to this outlet here so they get a flash when they stick the IV, and they can give medicines. So we say this side's the wet side, this side's the dry side. You can feel palpable pulses in the different pulse sites. The instructor can talk through him. His eyes will blink. He'll scream out, yes, no, short of breath. They'll be short of breath. And there's higher versions of him.
Right.
If you notice, he has little holes here.
Okay.
In the more advanced, they can cry.
Okay.
They can sweat.
So all those things that you're going to see in a real patient, you can actually make a mannequin. You can do many of those different kind of things.
So, and that's what I like about here at Good Fellowship is they've spent the money for a higher education and a better education where we can go into a simulation lab and actually simulate anything we want to do.
Right.
From any type of case, these skins come off, we can make them a burn patient, we can make them a trauma patient, we can make them male, female, some of them,
Right.
it's amazing. There's one that we're actually hoping to get a grant for a SIN mom.
Okay.
And the SIN mom actually delivers a baby.
That'd be awesome.
So you have the SIN baby now.
Right. Because there's only so much you can do on the book side of it. You can read the test, you can take the test, but really EMS is all about hands-on, learning how to do it. We need to touch patients. We need to feel what's going on. So having it, yes, a Fred the head is good. Yes, an intubation mannequin is okay. But having a service like this for an institute like you makes a world of difference between educations. Because I can touch them, I can feel them, I can smell them, I can do everything that you normally would do, and it's not just about the book knowledge.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Getting it from here to here.
Right.
And that's, well, some people can't get it from here to here. But a lot of us, that's how we live. We have it in our brains, we can get it in our hands.
Exactly.
We're currently also starting a program with Westchester University with their PA program.
Okay.
So their PA program, we're going to integrate EMS into their program. So they're training to be emergency medicine PAs.
Right.
So let's introduce the EMTs and paramedics and kind of work as a consortium and work together, so it's not like the ambulance driver.
Right.
You know, no, the paramedics, they're well trained and
Yeah.
they're
So we all
training
start
together.
at the same level
Right.
and work our way from there. Awesome. Now you also have a lecture room too, right?
Yes. So the lecture room has been, for today, been transformed into another part of the lab.
Okay. You got to use the space that you have.
Yeah, and this is, everybody is in just practicing intubations and supraglottic airways.
Right. Just today, some of these students are going to do this 15, 20, 30 times. They're doing the intubation
In a day.
In a day.
Right.
You know, we barely get that in a year for some services. So learning how to do that. But how many seats do you have in here?
Well, this class is a class of 23. We can fit about 35
Okay.
in this larger classroom.
Now it looks like it's pretty high tech too. What are some of the other high tech things you have in here?
So we're on the WebEx system.
Okay.
So being the times of COVID and everything else, if somebody's home sick, we can put them on a WebEx system and they can hear the lectures, see what we're doing.
Almost like Zoom.
It's
big thing
Zoom,
that
but it's
came around.
WebEx,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So we'll use that if somebody is sick. We had in our previous class, we had a gentleman who was in a really bad accident while working, and he Zoomed in from, or WebEx in from his hospital bed.
That's dedication right there.
It is, but that's,
Right.
he didn't want to miss anything.
So Tucker, thank you very much for inviting us out. This is an awesome place. You got a lot of high-tech equipment here. You're doing a lot of good things. One of the things that we struggled with over the last decade is finding good EMS personnel, whether that's a volunteer or paid personnel. So by you guys having this training institute, fills a huge gap. As far as I understand, you don't have any other training institutes in Chester County like this, correct?
That's correct.
So we really appreciate everything that you're doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So before we end, do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit notification, keep smashing those like buttons so we can keep bringing you more. Thank you for watching. This is another day in the life. We'll see you again next week. Welcome back to Heroes Next. Nope. Today we're doing a day in the life of a training institute. This is the Good Fellowship Training Institute, and they're going on a call.
My name just went into call.